All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates seen a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they figure, they don't even gotta say it.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, no waiting around. We jump right into an AFC North battle in Week 1 between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Check 26, check 26.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 29, Rosen. And he's got his man on the out route.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Right, didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 3rd down, Melton. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Now a give, right side. Turner. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
57 Mike. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Check.
He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Corey Littleton there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a give, right side. Turner. And he is going to be close to a first down as the tackle made at the Bengals' 40-yard line.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense. He
was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script. And right now,
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Batted away by the rookie out of Kentucky, Lonnie Johnson.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Melton. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They run the counter. It's Turner. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. He may try and run for this. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. 6-0 our score after 1. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rosen. He completes it to Boyd. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Rosen now off the bootleg. And this is going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And their 2 drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0. But the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a give right side. It's Turner. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. And they will finally get to him down at the Bengals 34. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 22-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Two times.
They'll run on first down. Galloway. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you.
This time Jackson will throw it. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Touchdown today.
Hollywood, Marquise Brown there to make the grab as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack on first down, Rosen, and he's going to go down again. Jannard Avery, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Jannard Avery able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Fielded at the 43. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Ravens set up well to be... in their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
On first down, Turner, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose, and the Bengals grab it, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
No. Off. Go. Check 25.
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. And he is going to be close to a first down as the tackle made at the Bengals' 13-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd down, Turner. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. This will be caught at about the 5. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal, Jackson. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals. The Bengals drive about to get going. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? 2nd sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get 1. That's memorable. 2? Hello.
Well, he dreamed about it. He thought about it. Did he ever expect it to happen? Probably not.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now Rosen. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or 2. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the 1st round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to go right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Taken in at the 22. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson escaping the press. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
They go play action now. Jackson, he's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half.
kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a give, right side. It's Turner. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. 45 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And a give this time to the tailback. Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kenny Young coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. The lead is theirs here in the 3rd quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible. I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive. So that flag will cost them 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And a cut to the right and some open field. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, already his 2nd touchdown here this opening weekend, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Brandon, you and I have called a lot of college football in our day, but on Sundays here in the NFL, doesn't it look a lot like what we used to see on Saturdays when we called those games?
Yeah, option plays just like we saw, and that was a long touchdown on the option. What you taught me, though, defensively, you get your eyes in the wrong place on a play like that, you're in trouble.
What's the term that's in vogue in the NFL? Eye violations. The offense wants you to put your eyes in the wrong spot so that they can appear in others.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Melton. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And now it's Rosen looking. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Let's go. Let's do it.
And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rosen. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They'll get 4 out of that, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Rosen. This is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. From 10 yards out, and the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails? Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be second and a couple.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And some room to roam now. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A game there of 30 big ones.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Jackson on first down. This to Jarwin. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Jackson from the shotgun. Flushed out right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, they were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on first and goal. From the gun, Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend, as his guys continue to pour it on. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away.
Pressure comes, and down goes Rosen. Jannard Avery able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Rosen. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Now Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 4th down now after a loss of 2. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Check the backer, check the backers.
They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Turner. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 33 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rosen. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll run on first down. Turner. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush.
The 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. On 1st down, Galloway. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots. And that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening.
Taylor hit. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And it's a defensive return for a late touchdown. So they still need somewhat of a miracle here, but at least that gets them a little bit closer. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
A first throw here for the backup Taylor. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
On second down, Galloway. And he coughed it up, and the Bengals grab it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And that'll bring up second down. Here's Rosen to throw. Oh, Rosen is stripped to the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. The 40. He's at the 30. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.